Good evening. This is Akashvani. I am Valsa Williams with the news at 9. The headlines: Withdrawal of nominations for single-phase assembly polls in Mizoram and first phase in Chhattisgarh ends. 174 candidates remain in the fray in Mizoram and 223 in Chhattisgarh. Railways operating 283 special trains to provide hassle-free travelling facilities to passengers during ongoing festive season. Legendary spinner Bishan Singh Bedi passes away. President and Prime Minister express grief over the demise. In Pakistan, a special court convicts former Prime Minister Imran Khan in cipher case. And in ICC Cricket World Cup, match underway between Pakistan and Afghanistan at Chennai. Today was the last date for withdrawal of candidature for single-phase assembly elections in Mizoram and for the first phase of assembly polls in Chhattisgarh. In Chhattisgarh, after the last day for the withdrawal of nominations for the first phase of assembly elections, 223 candidates are in the fray. A report.
There are total 90 assembly constituencies in Chhattisgarh. In the first phase of assembly elections, voting will be held in 20 of these assembly constituencies on November 7. After the scrutiny, nomination papers of 253 candidates were found valid. Out of this, 30 candidates have withdrawn their nominations. Now, a total of 223 candidates are in the fray. Most of these constituencies are in the most affected region of Chhattisgarh. Meanwhile, the process of filing nominations is going on in 70 assembly constituencies which are going to poll in the second phase on November 17. The last date for filing nominations for the second phase is October 30. Vikalp Shukla, Akashvani News, Raipur.
In Mizoram, after the last day of withdrawal, a total of 174 candidates are in the fray for the forthcoming assembly polls, with no candidate withdrawing their candidature. More from our correspondent.
With elections just a few weeks away, decks are now clear for the real political fight. All political parties and independent candidates are leaving no stone unturned to woo the voters. Whereas the Indian National Congress, the ruling Mizo National Front and the Mizoram People's Movement are fighting all the 40 assembly seats, the BJP is fielding candidates in 23 assembly constituencies. For the first time, the Aam Aadmi Party is contesting the Mizoram polls by fielding candidates in 4 assembly segments. The assembly polls this year are interesting as many constituencies will be witnessing a paradigm shift of a multi-corner contest. Meanwhile, election fever are running high with all candidates giving their best efforts to reach out to the voters. Kingangte, Akashvani News, Aizawl.
Political parties in poll-bound Mizoram, Chhattisgarh, Madhya Pradesh, Rajasthan and Telangana are trying to woo the voters through effective use of social media. In the last few years, social media has become a crucial tool in election campaigns in the country. With the use of social media platforms, it has become easier and faster for the public to get access to policies and political developments and form opinion on issues that matter and express their views on the same. Speaking to Akashvani News, senior political analyst Ashok Tandon said,
2014 में सबसे पहली बार प्रधानमंत्री नरेंद्र मोदी ने सोशल मीडिया प्लेटफॉर्म का इस्तेमाल बहुत प्रभावी ढंग से किया था। उसके बाद से लगातार सभी राजनीतिक दल सोशल मीडिया प्लेटफॉर्म का पूरी तरह से उपयोग कर रहे हैं। चुनाव अभियान में जो पुराने समय पर गांव-गांव में और नगर-नगर में जाकर कार्यकर्ता लोग जो अभियान चलाते थे, वो आज कहीं ना कहीं पिछड़ता जा रहा है और सोशल मीडिया का जो प्रयोग है वो लगभग पूरी तरह से चुनाव अभियान में हावी हो चुका है।
The Election Commission has invited entries from media houses for the National Media Award for Best Campaign on Voters' Education and Awareness. The last date to submit entries to the Commission is the 10th of December. There will be 4 awards, one each for print media, television, radio and online or social media. These awards are to recognize the outstanding contribution by media houses in promoting electoral participation by creating awareness about accessible elections, educating people about the electoral process and election-related IT applications, among others. The Indian Railways is running 283 special trains to provide hassle-free travelling facilities to passengers during the festival season. These trains will make 4,480 trips and connect several major routes like Delhi-Patna, Delhi Sri Mata Vaishno Devi Katra, Danapur, Saharsa, Puri Patna, Okha, Nahar Lagoon, Sialda, New Jalpaiguri, Kochuveli, Bengaluru, Banaras, Mumbai, Howrah, Raxaul, among others. The Indian Railways said additional Railways Protection Force personnel have also been deployed at major stations to ensure security of passengers. Mahanavami, popularly known as Durga Navami, is being celebrated with immense reverence throughout the country on the 9th day of the Sharadiya Navratri festival today. Navratri denotes the triumph of good over evil, and the day marks the end of the festival as well. Prime Minister Narendra Modi today spoke with King of Jordan Abdullah bin Al Hussein over phone. In a social media post, Mr. Modi said they exchanged views on the developments in the West Asia region. He said both the countries share concerns regarding terrorism, violence and loss of civilian lives. He said concerted efforts are needed for early resolution of the security and humanitarian situation in the area. In Maharashtra, at least 2 people were killed and 3 others injured after a fire broke out in an 8-story building in Mumbai's Borivali today. The fire broke out on the first floor of the building at around 1 this afternoon. According to officials, the fire was confined to electric installations on the first floor. The injured have been admitted to hospital in Borivali. This is Akashvani giving you the news. For quick news updates round the clock, follow us on our Twitter handle at AIR News Alerts. Indian cricket legend Bishan Singh Bedi passed away in Delhi today. He was 77. Bedi had a surgery 2 weeks ago and was hospitalized since then. He is survived by his son and Bollywood actor Angad Bedi, who is married to actress Neha Dhupia. Between 1967 and 1979, the legendary spinner played 67 tests for India, taking 266 wickets. In addition, he took 7 wickets in 10 one-day internationals. A report.
Described as languid and poetic by contemporaries and fans alike, Bishan Singh Bedi was known for his intensity. He delivered even on non-spin friendly pitches. Bedi established spinners as match winners when fast bowlers used to rule international cricket. Bedi was an instrumental figure in India's first ever ODI win, giving only 6 runs in 12 overs while also claiming a wicket. Bedi was a titan in first-class cricket and led Delhi to its first ever Ranji Trophy title in 1978-79 season, followed by another title win in the next season. He picked 1,560 wickets in 370 games. Bedi was awarded the Padma Shri in 1970 and was inducted into the ICC Hall of Fame in 2009. With others, Bhupendra Singh, Akashvani News, Delhi.
President Draupadi Murmu, Prime Minister Narendra Modi, Home Minister Amit Shah and Youth Affairs and Sports Minister Anurag Singh Thakur have expressed grief at the demise of legendary cricketer Bishan Singh Bedi.
भारतीय क्रिकेट टीम के पूर्व कप्तान और एक ऐसे गेंदबाज जिनको देश याद करता रहा, बिशन सिंह बेदी जी हम सबके बीच में नहीं रहे। एक बहुत दुखद समाचार है। उनके परिवार को इस दुख की घड़ी में मैं अपनी ओर से कहूंगा, पूरा क्रिकेट जग आपके साथ खड़ा है। ये क्रिकेट जगत के लिए बहुत बड़ा नुकसान है।
Prime Minister Narendra Modi today held a discussion with Director General of the International Atomic Energy Agency IAEA, Rafael Mariano Grossi, in New Delhi to enhance the enduring partnership between India and IAEA. In a social media post, the Prime Minister said the meeting was held to explore avenues for expanding the role of nuclear energy to meet India's net zero commitment and extending nuclear technology applications in areas like food, health, water treatment and countering plastic pollution in the global south. In Pakistan, a special court today convicted former Prime Minister Imran Khan and former Foreign Minister Shah Mahmood Qureshi for leaking classified documents in the cipher case. According to reports, Khan was charged under the Official Secrets Act in a closed-door trial. However, the judge in the matter has issued notices to the witnesses to appear on the 27th of this month. The latest indictment for leaking confidential information carries a penalty of 14 years imprisonment and in extreme cases the death penalty. Earlier in August this year, Mr. Khan was convicted of corruption and sentenced to 3 years in jail. In Bangladesh, at least 17 people were killed and scores injured today when a cargo train rammed into a passenger train at Bhairab rail station in Kishoreganj district of Dhaka division. The accident occurred this afternoon when a cargo train hit from behind the Dhaka-bound Agaroshidur Godhuli Express, which was coming from Kishoreganj. According to media reports, two rear bogies of the passenger train were smashed with many travellers stuck inside. The death toll is likely to rise as many are still trapped inside the mangled coaches of the passenger train. Israeli military has said that in the last 24 hours it had struck more than 320 targets in Gaza as it is targeting Hamas infrastructure, including tunnels and rocket launch sites. Meanwhile, the Palestinian Health Ministry said more than 430 people have been killed in these strikes. Early today, Israeli aircraft also struck two Hezbollah cells in Lebanon. The Israeli military said the terror group was planning to launch anti-tank missiles and rockets towards Israel. According to media reports, both Israel and Hamas reported overnight clashes in Gaza. Hamas also confirmed that it used two drones to attack Israeli military posts. The United Nations said desperate civilians were running out of food, water and places to shelter. Over 1.4 million population were now internally displaced, with many seeking refuge in UN emergency shelters. India will remain the fastest growing major economy in the world in the financial year 2024. A monthly economic review report released by the Finance Ministry said that gradual strengthening of investment demand and firming of industrial activities are emerging as strong growth drivers along with strong consumption. It said index of industrial production has recorded double-digit growth in August this year, which is the highest in the last 14 months. Air quality in National Capital Region further deteriorated today. As per the data released by the India Meteorological Department, the overall air quality index at 7 p.m. today was recorded in very poor category, with the AQI index at 308. In view of the worsening situation in Delhi, Environment Minister Gopal Rai held a meeting with 28 government departments tasked to ensure the efficient implementation of pollution control measures in the capital. After the meeting, Mr. Rai said the government has identified 8 new pollution hotspots in the national capital and special teams will be dispatched to these areas to investigate and address pollution sources. In ICC Men's Cricket World Cup, the match between Pakistan and Afghanistan is underway at M.A. Chidambaram Stadium in Chennai. Afghanistan were 216 for 2 in 39.2 overs when reports last came in. Earlier, Pakistan had set a target of 283 runs for Afghanistan, opting to bat first. Pakistan scored 282 runs for 7 wickets in the stipulated 50 overs. Pakistan finishers Iftikhar Ahmed and Shadab Khan ensured a good finish for their team as they smashed big boundaries in the final overs. At the 4th Asian Para Games being held in Hangzhou, China, India ended its first day campaign by adding 17 medals, including 6 gold, 6 silver and 5 bronze to its kitty today. Aruna Tanwar secured the first ever medal for India in Para Taekwondo, winning bronze in the women's K44 to 47 kilogram event. In athletics, Praveen claimed gold in the men's high jump T64 event, while Unni Renu secured bronze. Kokila won bronze in judo women's 48 kilogram J2 event after defeating Taipei's Lee Kei-lin. Kapil Parmar secured silver in men's 60 kilogram J1 in judo. Prime Minister Narendra Modi congratulated all the medalists for their incredible achievements. India has sent a contingent of 303 athletes who are participating across 17 disciplines at the Asian Para Games. And now, before we end the bulletin, the headlines once again. Withdrawal of nominations for single-phase assembly polls in Mizoram and first phase in Chhattisgarh ends. 174 candidates remain in the fray in Mizoram and 223 in Chhattisgarh. Railways operating 283 special trains to provide hassle-free travelling facilities to passengers during ongoing festive season. Legendary spinner Bishan Singh Bedi passes away. President and Prime Minister express grief over the demise. In Pakistan, a special court convicts former Prime Minister Imran Khan in cipher case. And in ICC Cricket World Cup, match underway between Pakistan and Afghanistan at Chennai. That is all in the news at 9. Good night.